So here we have the kit to make your own soda fountain. So we got this piece of this shell that we made here out of cardboard, some duct tape, and some hot glue. And that. We got the kit. It comes with a couple switches. This one actually came with 3 switches, but we're just going to use 2 for this machine. It comes with a couple pumps. These are air pumps. This one's going to pump air right through there. And you connect your power sources and switch to these little tabs in the back. The kit does come with this connector for 9 volt or other types of batteries, but we won't be using that today. I've actually got this thing here which holds 5 AA batteries. Comes with wires attached already to it. Some other things that we're going to need for this project are soldering iron. Got some solder. I do have some soldering paste, which should be handy. You don't need it, but it's handy to have as a voltmeter. Now, one way to attach this thing too is you can, because when you're hooking up the wires, you can just twist them together and attach them. I'm actually going to use some of this metal here. Use this tab wire to connect some common wires. Okay, so let's get started. All right, now this kit also comes with some tubing. You get a wider, thicker tubing, and then a smaller one. The smaller one we're going to hook up to this part of the air pump. And then the bigger one we're going to put through, let's see if we can show it on the camera here, this part of the underside here of our cardboard box. It's going to come right to the top here, stick down, and that's where your beverage is going to be dispensed from. On the front here, we're going to put a button or 2 so that you can just press your button, the drink's going to come right out, press your button, the drink's going to come right out. Okay, this is going to work with air pressure, so you know the air is going to leave here, go through this small tube into your drink, your soda, your pop bottle, and then it's going to push all that air down and force the liquid through this tube, which is also going to be into the bottle lid, which we'll show you later. And it's going to come all the way through this tube and then right out here and into our glass for a tasty beverage. Okay, so right now I've cut 4 lengths of this black wire, and I'm going to go to the edge and just strip off a little bit. This looks like it's 20 gauge wire, so it's pretty thin. So just snip off the ends there. A lot of wire strippers just like this one are going to have numbers on them. So 20 is 20 gauge, 18, 16, 14, all the way down. So it tells you right there which one you can put it on, and then you could easily just put it on there and strip your wire. So right now I've got, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up all the wires to the switches first. So I'm going to put a wire into each of these little leads there and a couple right there. The kit does come with these red and black wires. It doesn't really matter which one you want to do. What I'll probably do is just put the black wires, one on each of these tabs here. So I'll have 2 wires here, 2 wires here, they'll all be black in color. And then what I'll do is for the red wires is I'll hook up 1 terminal here from a pump and then hook this one, connect it to it. And then the other terminals, what we're going to be is hooking up one of the black wires here from the switch to a pump, and one of these black wires here to that tab wire as mentioned earlier as a common. So we'll go ahead and get started. I got the soldering iron heating up, And what I'll do is I'll put on the end of the soldering iron, I'll put a little solder called tinning, make it easier for me to attach the wires onto each of these little tabs here. There we go. That's attached. Okay, so we got the two switches all wired up. They're right there. Okay. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this tab wire, make a common bus. So for that, we'll just snip it. Don't need much. Like that. And like I said, one wire from each of these switches we're going to attach to that. Okay, so we got the one wire from each switch soldered on there. And now I'm going to take this battery pack and put the black wire right next to there and attach them both. So all three of them actually are going to be soldered on. Very good. Alright, so next we're going to move on to the other side of the circuit, and we've got these pumps, and I've got all this red wire, so I'm just going to make a short one to connect like this terminal, so you can see it, I'll connect this terminal to this terminal with a red wire. So then those two are going to be connected, and then I'm going to take the red wire from that battery pack and then connect it to one of these. Then you'll notice we still have these two that are open on each of these pumps, so that's where the other black wire from the switch is going to connect to those. And then that'll complete the whole circuit, and buttons will be controlling these little pumps with the battery power. I did put a little soldering paste in each of these contacts again, and I'll put a little bit on each end of this red wire when I get it stripped. I just find it makes it adhere a little bit better, helps the solder find its way to where it needs to a little bit easier. Alright, so I got the other wire from that black wire from the switch. I just attached them right through those little holes of the tabs. Put a little soldering paste on there, and I'm just gonna solder them in. Just a little solder. That way they're not going anywhere. Good. So that connects the circuit, and that makes it all one thing. Now, one thing I might do, looking at all this, and when I get this installed in the box, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to cover this this common wire. I'll trim this up a little bit. It's a little bit long. I'm going to cover it with some electrical tape, just in case nothing drops back there and creates a short. You don't want that to happen. And next, what we'll do is we'll just install it in this box here, cut our holes, and do a little hot glue, put it all together. Alright, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these two different size hoses here. So one is smaller than the other one, see? And we're going to put some holes in this cap. So it goes one in through one side, and then the other on the other side, like that. You can just use, be careful, carefully use this knife or something, or a drill bit. So I'm going to try using this hot iron, and we'll see how that goes. Alright, so there we go. We got two holes in there, one big for this one, and one big enough for that one. We'll stick them in, and then we'll use some hot glue and seal them up. So here we have the completed sorting machine. It's got a couple buttons. As you can see, there's a couple of tubes coming out there. Take a quick look around the back. We've got the couple soda bottles or pop bottles, depending where you're from. You'll notice that I hot glued each of those tubes in there. Be sure to get the underside of the cap too. Sometimes you don't want any air leaks. One tip to check for air leaks is just to make a little solution out of water and a little dish soap, like Dawn. Not too much, you don't need a lot. Make some bubbles, put those bubbles on there, so when you're doing the air pump, there shouldn't be any bubbles leaking through there. If there is, throw a little bit more hot glue in there. So let's just give this a test. I'll press the button, and there we go. You got your very own soda fountain. So if you liked this video, be sure to click like and subscribe, and hopefully we get the chance to show you some more. So thanks so much. Take care.